Welcome to the Force Dyad Podcast, a Star Wars-centric podcast which aims to connect us fans to our fandom. Each episode, we discuss recent shows, movies, and what's new in books, comics, and gaming. We share our favorite theories and touch on our collectible hobbies, all in an effort to connect the galaxy far, far away to our own. And welcome to episode 8 of the Force Dyad Podcast. Tonight, Obi-Sean and Jedi John are going to break down episode 10 of the Bad Batch, Common Ground. Going to cover the preview of Star Wars Visions coming out on Disney Plus in September. And going to talk a little bit about our holiday. Looking forward to it. How's it going tonight?
It's good. It's good. I'm doing good. No complaints. Had a wonderful holiday. I still have all 5 fingers. No, sorry, 10 fingers.
I was going to say.
And 10 toes.
So you are missing some.
No accidents. Zero fireworks accidents. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Fireworks, barbecuing, brownie bar.
Ooh, a brownie bar.
That my wife made, which I thoroughly enjoyed. She made a comment. She goes, it's like I never feed you sweets. I said, well, when there's double chocolate Ghirardelli brownies with peanut butter, chocolate chip, ice cream, hot fudge, maraschino cherries, and whipped cream. Cool Whip. I'm going to thoroughly partake of it. So, but got to enjoy the fireworks with my son. His first somewhat memorable 4th of July. So,
yeah.
You know, we kept him up past his bedtime, and our neighborhood puts on, at the local park, puts on this monstrous display, which they clearly had some money saved up from last year because it got canceled, as did most things.
So they went overboard?
They went for almost a half hour. So
that's incredible.
It was nice. So got to spend the weekend with some family, and yeah, overall it was good. How was your 4th?
It was good. I mean, it was my kid's first 4th of July, so we spent the first half of the day. You know, I had to work in the yard to somehow try to keep my huskies inside the fence and not let them get out. So trying to reinforce some fence areas, and then we went over to parents-in-law and went swimming. I stayed in the pool for 4 hours. That was a mistake after working in the yard all morning, and yeah, I mean, I was pretty done by the time fireworks came around, but son loved the fireworks. I mean, he got startled when bright lights or big booms and stuff like that, but no crying or anything like that. So he did really well, and as usual, the dogs were good. So this is their 3rd one. So my neighborhood all pulls everything together and does one big fireworks show down in my cul-de-sac, so we have front row seats for it, along with usually the cleanup. But actually this year, I don't know if the wind was just going the right way. We just did not have the amount of trash in my yard that we usually do.
That's
so
always
it was nice.
That's always nice, not having to worry about the leftover mortar shells or paper falling from the sky. So that's always a benefit.
So it was good though. Overall, good holiday. But yeah, before we get started tonight, obviously, if you guys are interested in other nerd fandoms, you can check out our friends over at Galactic Dads. They're the dad destination for all things geek, dad life, and beyond. It can be bits of dad advice for your dad life, comics, video games, TV shows, movies, and whatever else strikes us them worthy to talk about. So they cover basically everything under the sky as far as fandoms and nerdisms. So go check them out if you have time.
At Galactic Dads on all the socials.
Yeah,
and
all of them.
And while we're plugging socials, you can find us on Twitter at Force Dyad Pod, and then on Facebook and Instagram at Force Dyad Podcast. So, check us out on the socials.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun last week with the 6 degrees of, Star Wars, I guess you could call it. Not really separation, but 6 degrees of Star Wars. We'll play that again on Twitter, along with some tidbits continuously going through.
Yeah, I think this week I'm going to try and do some focus on, since it's the 4th of July and, 4th of July week, we'll do some tidbits on all of the various wars and battles from Star Wars history. So,
yes, it'll be good.
That'll be fun.
All right. Well, I guess that takes us right into this week's episode of The Bad Batch. We had episode 10 premiere on Friday, Common Ground. And we catch up to our heroes chilling with Sid.
Yes.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to this episode. I don't know how fast you want to recap it real quick.
I mean, we can. Yeah. I mean, it's probably a 30-second.
Yeah, I mean, the Bad Batch gets a job that they don't necessarily want to take, but Sid reminds them that they owe her money, so
Lots of money.
you have to go get it. So you're doing the job kind of thing. So sends the guys out. They decided that Hunter decided that Omega cannot come with them based on, well, what just happened with the bounty and knowing that she's safer with Sid than potentially with them.
Which is slightly ironic.
Hilariously ironic, really, when you think about all the connections Sid has. But overall, I mean, that's Hunter's call, and he made the decision. Omega wasn't happy with it, but I think the whole team understood. So they get called out to Raxus.
To the capital city, Raxalon.
Raxalon, where we witnessed the senator giving a speech to the people, and you can see the imperial pressure coming down now on the planets that they didn't necessarily control before, but they are 100% taking over now.
Yeah, the former separatist worlds are, in the eyes of the Empire, almost worse. Well, not almost worse, definitely worse than basically any other planet that was in the Republic.
Yeah, they completely turned on them.
Exactly.
They flipped the script on them.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were the bad guys. You're still the bad guys, and we're gonna just dominate your world. Yeah.
And so he gives an emboldened speech to his people, which ends up getting him thrown in custody into prison, basically under a massive amount of guard.
It was excessive.
It for one person, yeah, it was pretty.
For a senator with no guards and no military training, yeah, a little different there.
So, but yeah, so Bad Batch is sent to Raxalon, and their contact happens to be the senator's droid, and basically, the whole way there, Echo's losing his mind over the fact that they're about to help a separatist, and it's very an enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, which is why it's called Common Ground. So basically, it's a smash and grab to rescue the senator, who's about to get interrogated by one of the interrogation droids that we see in A New Hope, and which is a fun little callback. I don't know if we ever saw those before in the Clone Wars cartoon, but anyways, they hijack an AT-TE. Yes, in an attempt to escape, and they end up, basically escaping through the sewers back to the forest, and the senator, they're getting ready to board the ship, and the senator's like, I can't leave my people like this, and Hunter turns to him and said, no, it was Echo. It was Echo. Turns to him and says, live to fight another day.
Yeah, and I mean, it's pretty obvious that he immediately just realizes, yeah, you're probably right. So
then they end up going back to Sid's place to take the senator back, and they walk in on Omega and Sid.
There was a ruckus outside. People were running in.
There was a hoot nanny.
Hoot nanny at the bar.
Old-fashioned hoot nanny going on in Ord Mantell. And I can never remember the name of the chess game. Isn't it like Surzak? Or no, that's the card game.
Dang it! You're gonna mess me up now.
Yep, and now we're gonna stall awkwardly while we look it up. But anyways, they're playing the chess game that is made famous again in A New Hope, with Chewbacca and R2 playing against, C-3PO and R2 playing against Chewbacca.
I almost said holochess.
Is it just called?
It's not right. It's Dejaric.
Dejaric. Okay, it's not Cesaric. It's Dejaric.
Yeah.
Anyways, apparently Omega is a prodigy when it comes to the strategy game.
It's a whiz. She's a whiz. Like,
and she's just Rain Man and everybody, and crushing it to the point where Sid has made back all of the money that
The Bad Batch. Because
The
Hunter
Bad-
came in judging.
Yeah, he was about to go all
You're
dad.
supposed to be laying low. What are
Exactly.
you doing? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden Sid's like, I'd take it easy on her. She just made back all the money you owe me.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Through a game. Oh, man, if only they would have known that could have happened the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like with Tech and his information, that he always shares 2 episodes too late. It's like you couldn't have done this 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, we could have saved a lot of time here. All right.
Right. And so, but anyways,
We wouldn't have needed the filler episodes.
the filler episodes are where the fun happens. You don't get, rounds upon rounds of Hollow Chest without a filler episode. And so the episode ends with Hunter and Omega sitting down to one more game, and he makes her a bet that says if she can beat him, then she never has to stay behind ever again.
Yeah, gotta
or
put
for,
those.
for any mission. Ever
Gotta
again.
put that tactical mind to use.
So pretty straightforward episode. It was enjoyable. It was a very pretty episode.
Oh yeah.
Visually, it's one of the more full color palette type of episode where the animators, I think, got to really stretch their their skills as far as creating the world, because previous renditions of this location didn't get fleshed out the way that it did in this episode. So
Yeah, I mean, we're almost to like Pixar quality animation at this point. Like they're pushing it, which is nice to see.
and so and it's also nice to see the the beginnings, the groundwork that the Empire is laying to control every single star system, or as many star systems as they can, from the outset.
And this is the first time we've seen the clones in true, like they're starting to, it's almost looking like stormtroopers now again.
Oh, for sure.
And on top of that, we saw the Bad Batch go in with stuns on because it just shows compassion for their brothers.
They still don't want to kill him.
They don't want to kill their brothers and now they know that they could save them potentially. So really they're like, we know how to fix this, and they're just under mind control really. So with the inhibitor chips. So yeah, it was interesting to see them go in with stuns. But yeah, it just continues to show that they have compassion for their brothers versus the other side of the ball, just shooting to kill.
Right, exactly. And you also get to see, and this has kind of been hinted at in other media, such as The Mandalorian and even the Squadrons video game, and that's the Captain Bragg being a female. And so, throughout the age of the Empire, you don't see very many female officers out, in the public view. And so I think it's just another avenue to display the female strength and empowerment that you have in the Empire as well, as we've seen recently. And
yeah, and I mean, it was missing for a lot of years in the Star Wars universe as far as films and everything else.
For
but
sure.
It's good to see it coming back around. Like, it's a very inclusive medium, and it's I mean, everybody's there, so it's good to see.
For sure. So what do you think, what kind of rating would you give this episode?
I would just give it a solid 8. I mean, we didn't get a ton of stuff. It was a smash and grab. They really didn't come into too many obstacles that weren't like you couldn't see the outcome going their way. So no level of fear of risk or anything like that. So it was really just a solid episode. I mean, like you said, it was very pretty. So I'd give it like an 8. And I did like to see Omega like just dominating everyone. Like, oh, it's just a kid. Oh, okay.
Well, she went from being super pouty to, chess genius. So, and I saw something funny on, I think it was on Instagram, and it was called the Omega Gambit, and a play on the Queen's Gambit, the Netflix show. So, as far as my rating, I'd probably do slightly lower, maybe like a 7, 8. But I mean, again, solid episode. So yeah, 7, 8 to 8, somewhere in that range. What does IMDb give it?
So IMDb gave it a 7.6.
Okay. Is that the lowest score this year?
That is not the lowest. I want to say there's one lower.
Or score
But
rating?
now I have to. What's a score? No, Decommissioned and Rampage both scored lower, and Cornered was a tie for 7.6. Since this has been out, I feel like some of the ratings have been going down on the IMDb ratings. Like Cut and Run's now to 7.5, and Replacements is only at 7.9. And that
was over 8.
Yeah, that was over 8 before. So like, it's slowly going down. I think that people are just, anytime they consider it a filler, it is just tanking in the review section. So, versus like this episode is a fun one for like a child to watch. Like, it's legitimately like just a fun episode for them to watch.
For sure. And one of the things too we have to remember about ratings is the people who are actually going to go out of their way to make a rating are likely going to rate it lower than those who actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like anytime you go to a restaurant's rating.
Yeah, or the Better Business Bureau for a retailer or something like that.
Exactly. So
why do they have a 1 star there?
Right. Are there any fun comments that?
Oh, I skimmed them. I did not.
I didn't know if there were any that stood out.
Literally the first one, the most, like, this is under the most helpful reviews. The first one that's on there. Very much a filler, but it's still very fun. They gave it an 8. So right. They're on the high end, you know?
Well, that's good.
And then this one's just way too long to read. Let me find this another snippet real quick.
Is there a TLDR version of it?
No, not that I'm going to give you right now. There it is. I'm sick of filler episodes, lack of character development, and episodes that can be just plain old skipped. 5 out of 10. What a sad day.
Well, I feel like there's probably something, you know, like they're laying the groundwork for something.
I still feel like there was character development though. Like I would still argue that point. Like we watched the clones again have to go fight for something that they don't necessarily believe in and didn't for many years, and then you still watch them use stun on their brothers because they're compassionate people, so they're not just controlled clones that will go out and just kill. And then you get to see Omega. Like we find out that she is extremely tactical, whereas before we did not really know that about her. We knew that she was smart and she knew a lot of stuff about the cloning and stuff, but we didn't know that she was super tactical. So I'm curious to see how the Bad Batch will use that going forward.
For sure, yeah. Her strategic wherewithal, I think, will come in handy in a future mission.
I just love the 1 star rating that is right here.
Ooh, a 1 star.
A 1 star. Absolute garbage and a waste of an episode. Stop wasting our time, Filoni. I'm so sorry people are like that.
That's a shame.
Filoni, I think you're doing a fine job so far. Just keep on moving.
Like, people who hate it that much, why are you taking the 30 minutes out of your day to watch it, to rate it?
I wish I could find that person on, like, another, like, I wonder if they comment on all of them.
They're probably a Star Trek fan.
Oh, my goodness. Just rating the coppers here. I wonder if that kind of person probably rates it every episode. I would imagine, right? I really hope I find this guy right now on the next episode.
Well, and that's really gonna tank the numbers too. If you throw a 1 in with a bunch of 7s and 8s.
I mean, there's only 16 reviews out there, so
and one's a 1.
And one's a 1. So, well, as far as the written reviews, I don't know if that counts for all the stars.
Oh, gotcha. Well, the next episode is Devil's Deal.
Yeah, I expect that to be a good one because I expect we're gonna get something where they have to give something up to get something they want.
I don't know what they want at this point, other than to keep Omega safe.
I mean, you never know. Cad Bane, I expect to see Cad Bane at least once more during this because he's still technically looking for his money.
That's true.
He wants the money.
And I was thinking that they would join up with the rebellion in this last episode, find common ground to join up the rebellion. That didn't happen. So, yeah, I don't know what the plan is with Crosshair. Like, that's what I want to know. What are they going to do with him?
Yeah.
Like, what's his trajectory? I mean,
I know you think he's gone. I'm in the camp that says that we can still save him. I still hope we can.
Dude is, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how they go about saving him at this point.
Yeah. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. We don't have any new theories for anybody this week. Sorry about that, guys and gals. But we didn't get a ton to go off of this episode, so all of our old theories kind of still hold hold water. We're waiting to see when they see Boba Fett. We assume that they're going to find him in the next couple episodes before we get to the final arc of the series, really. I mean, I know this feels like more of just one huge arc, but I think they are splitting it up nicely as far as character development, seeing Omega develop versus seeing Omega develop with the team individually. We saw that for like 3 or 4 episodes in a row where she was just integrating into the team versus now we're seeing her alone be the shining star, so to speak, and develop herself. So we've seen a little bit of both, and so I'm guessing that going forward we're going to see her full flush with the team and see them really work well together, and we'll see the obstacles they come and face.
Yeah, the only two characters we haven't really seen fleshed out yet are Tech and Echo. Like we kind of know Echo, I guess, from Clone Wars, but Tech has gotten
Not a whole lot of
next
love.
to nothing.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that's intentional. Maybe he's just supposed to be the encyclopedia of knowledge and the deadpan humor from time to time, but
I still love
that
him.
would be kind of a waste. So then should we pivot to our oldest friend?
Yeah, roll right into it.
He's one of my oldest friends.
So this week, instead of a person,
We're going to do a planet.
a whole planet.
And maybe just a city, but our oldest planet friend is going to be Raxus this week because we didn't have any recurring characters, and so Raxus, its full name is Raxus Secundus, not to be confused apparently with Raxus Prime, but the capital city is Raxalon, and the first appearance of Raxus was in a season 3 Clone Wars episode, which aired in November of 2010, called Heroes on Both Sides. And the episode had pertained to Padme going to try and sort of circumvent the Galactic Senate and try and negotiate a peace with the Separatists because Raxus, and specifically Raxalon, became the capital of the Separatist movement. So the Confederacy of Independent Systems set up their capital there after they were forced to flee Geonosis during the Battle of Geonosis, which we see at the end of the Attack of the Clones film. And so, as the seat of the Separatists fight, I think that kind of lays the groundwork for why the Empire is trying to be as forceful without being violent as it is as far as trying to quell any sort of residual separatist ideals.
Yeah, all of their violence is in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
They are not publicly doing anything that would appear to be violent or combative.
Right, and there's actually, again, in doing some of this research, there's a situation which occurs about a year after the time period in the Bad Batch where Tarkin actually utilizes I believe it's a moon, Anchor or Onder.
That's no moon. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's a space station. But basically uses it as an example for those who would stand against the Empire from a separatist standpoint, and basically goes in and rounds up everyone, regardless of if they're imperially or loyal to the Empire or if they're still residual separatists, and basically arrests and executes a bunch of them as a power play to wrangle all of the remaining separatist systems in line.
Tarkin was a violent, like, just merciless commander. I mean, ultimately, that's what he was. So,
So yeah, I mean, so as far as Raxus goes, that's kind of the background on it. As we said during the recap, it's a very, very pretty planet. It's very lush, has many different sort of ecosystems and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else about Raxus.
Yeah. it was a good time.
It was.
Good time. All right. Well, that takes us into our next segment, which is just what's coming up. And we got a huge preview for Star Wars Visions. And
During the Anime Light Expo
yeah,
this past weekend.
personally, I watched the footage and I was just in awe the whole time. I mean, it looks great. I love the Japanese rendition and the animation styles that they're using. I mean, they're going through multiple studios for each episode, and they all get to tell their story. And when you hear some of the animators that we got during the preview just talk about why they're excited about doing it, it just reignites your passion as a fan, because you can tell that they are just as big of fans as we are, and they've been waiting their whole life to be able to draw and do Star Wars in their animation style, and now they're getting the shot to do it. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and they mentioned after the fact that, you know, none of the stories are going to be canon, and frankly, I couldn't care less, you know, about that. I mean, the anime style, you know, brought to Star Wars is something that we've never seen before, and it allows for different kinds of, you know, emotional expressions in the way that, you know, traditional anime has been done for decades. And so, you know, as far as Visions is concerned, you know, we get 9 episodes that come out in September. I believe they all come out. I don't know if there's going to be like a episodic. I mean, there are episodes, but I don't know if it's going to be a weekly episodic launch or if all 9 are going to be.
I would assume it's
available.
weekly, just like everything else we're getting.
But we've got 9 episodes: The Duel, Lop and Ocho, Tatooine Rhapsody, The Twins, The Elder, The Village Bride, Akakiri, T0B1, and The Ninth Jedi. And, you know, some of them, like TOB1, there's a callback to Astro Boy, which is, what was that, the 80s? 80s cartoon?
80s, yeah.
And during the Tatooine Rhapsody preview, we even get a snippet of anime Boba. So we talked on the last episode about the year of Boba, and he's getting his own show. He's got his own comic, and now he's anime, or he will be.
Yeah,
he will be made into anime.
I mean, it's going to be awesome. I mean, you got 7 different studios working on these 9 episodes. I think 2 of them have 2 episodes that they're working on.
Really, there's 7?
7 different production studios they're doing.
Like 7 Samurai?
Yeah. Making more connections there. But yeah, we got Kamikaze. I might mess this up.
You're gonna
Duga
totally butcher these, aren't you?
is doing the Duel. Geno Studio from Twin Engine is doing Lop and Ocho. Studio Colorido is doing from Twin Engine also the Tatooine Rhapsody. Then Trigger has the next 2 episodes. Kinema Citrus, The Village Bride. Science Saru is doing Akakiri and TOB1. And I hope that's how they say it, is TOB1. It's T0B1, but I'm hoping it's TOB1. And Production IG is doing The Ninth Jedi. So really cool. Like you've got
Toby-1.
Toby1. Oh my gosh. It's TO-B1 or dash B1. So yeah, it could be Toby1. Very, very. I hope they don't say that. But.
Toby-1. But it's just nice to see, you know, Star Wars has so many callbacks, not only to Westerns, but also old samurai films like The Seven Samurai, among others. And so it's great to see Japan get a crack at
and especially
telling Star Wars stories.
When you listen to like Filoni and Favreau talk about some of their Mandalorian episodes that they did, heavily influenced on Japanese film. So yeah, it's awesome they're doing this.
Well, I think the Ahsoka episode and that duel, like from where they did that really long shot.
Yeah, with the water on both sides of the bridge.
Well, that, and then as she first came into town, and the marshal fella was at the far end and she was at the other, that was straight pulled from the Seven Samurai film. Like, so that whole episode had a very Japanese styling to it, straight down to the it was almost like a bonsai garden type thing outside of I forget her name, but anyways, Thrawn's disciple.
Yeah. It's good stuff, though.
Yeah, so that comes out in September. Very excited for it. It's just a different style than we've ever seen before, and it allows creativity and stories that we've never seen. So
Yeah.
should be really. I'm really interested to see it.
And then we this week we got the High Republic comic number 6. We have not had time to deep dive into it
Nope.
and get through it yet. And then I know, is it next week we get War of the Bounty Hunters number 2?
So yeah, it's next week because I think it's the 5th.
Yeah, that
Is it
sounds
the 14th or the
14th
15th?
or 15th sounds right.
Yeah, the second episode, second issue.
Second issue of it. Yep.
Of the Boba Fett arc with the War of the Bounty Hunters comes out because there is apparently a third leg of the War of the Bounty Hunters, which is a 4 or 5 issue arc that has Jabba at the center of it. So I have 2 issues of that on pre-order, along with 2 issues of issue 2 of War of the Bounty Hunters. So, yeah, have those waiting, or will be waiting very shortly.
We'll be waiting.
at Justin's.
You should see him right now. Obi-Sean is just like, yes, it is. It's going to be mine.
It is waiting.
It will be mine.
I'm going to get one of every, or I'm going to get multiple of every issue of the Boba series, and then I'm going to send them all off and get them graded as one big giant
collection.
It's going to be awesome. But then I also got today, actually just before coming over here to record, I got my first copy of The Rising Storm, which is the out of print version, which has the double-sided dust jacket that's got Jedi on the front and Nihil on the back, and it just looks amazing. And so I've got another issue or another copy coming from Goldsboro Book in London, which I think is supposed to ship by the end of the week. So maybe it'll be here in time for my birthday. So I've got about a third of Light of the Jedi left to read.
I tell you what, High Republic has turned you into a literary monster.
I am all in on reading.
So thank you to those authors, Charles Soule, Kevin Scott, Claudia Gray. I know you guys are doing great work, but oh my gosh, you've turned a man into a monster.
I have not read this far into a book in 15 years. It was the Da Vinci Code was the last book that I was this invested into.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
And I only read that because I wanted to finish that before the movie came out and ruined it. So, which it did.
And just ruin it.
Which it did. So, if they ever make visual media for the High Republic, I hope they give it time to breathe, because the stories that are being laid down, not just in the adult novels, but also the young adult novels like Race to Crash Point Tower, I hear is a lot of fun to read as well. I do hope that they give it the proper care to deliver the stories, because
I'm sure they will, because if they are going to take it to a movie from print, especially if they're doing anything with the characters that are currently in print, they'll have to involve the authors. So hopefully they do it justice.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily do a 3 with the books that are coming out. I'm sure you could do trilogies just of the books. There's probably that much there. So
I'm sure they have something in the works, knowing them.
So
I mean, they can't not make money for too long off a movie.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Disney's not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. They'll make money any way they can. So, but yeah, I can't wait to dive into Rising Storm. Everything I've seen online has been apparently you get your heart just ripped out of your chest. So I'm, as Michael Scott famously once said, I'm ready to be hurt again. So
Let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and then as far as action figures go this week, if you pre-ordered from GameStop some of the Gaming Greats figures, I know I received my Flame Trooper and my Cal Kestis Deluxe figure this week. So looking forward to my Night Brother that's still supposed to come from. Oh yeah,
nice. From Fallen Order.
Yep. Yep. So looking forward to him coming in still. And then, of course, we're still waiting on Wrecker anytime now. I mean, that's not due out till October, but I've seen people get them already, and it's really upsetting that I pre-ordered from I think I actually got him straight from Hasbro, and I'm still waiting on him. And I think another one of the third-party vendors got him out to their customers already.
When did you pre-order it?
Months.
Oh,
It's been months.
like back in like March?
I couldn't even tell you. I'd have to look it up, but months.
Gotcha.
I pre-order months ahead of time. I'm getting them. I'm getting them all. But yeah, so it's really cool. But the Gaming Greats did change their box. They moved away from the teal blue of the regular Black Series box to the new, what they're calling, I guess, the Galaxy boxes, which have the artwork on the sides that connect. So there is another tier of artwork now that you have to deal with if you're a collector like me, and just finding shelf space is getting interesting. So yeah, but yeah, that was it from the collector side of things this week. There was no big announcements for new figures or anything like that. I hope everybody got their Captain Rex, Commander Rex. I don't even know what is on his box for the Walmart exclusive that went out last week. But I hope you all got them.
Did you get one?
Oh yes.
Did it already come in?
No. It's It's like a pre-order for
it's
October.
pre-order.
Oh yeah, we're not getting those till October if we get them.
Well, then you found Omega Pops out in the wild, right?
Yeah. So Mega Pops are out. Well, they were out at Target last week. I don't know if they're still there, but everyone was hot on the Target exclusive Omega Pop. There's a lot of pops coming out too, though. Not a whole bunch for Star Wars, but there are quite a bit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're either gonna have to get a new room, build out this room, or get rid of the pops that I'm staring at to make space for just Star Wars figures.
Yeah, it's really hard to get rid of some of those pops.
Decisions are gonna have to be made.
Some of them are pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I don't have any big toy news on my side other than the one that I'm building.
Don't mess up the Bugatti.
Which isn't Star Wars related, but I did dive into my first Technic build, which is the Chiron, which looks like it's going to be a beautiful model. And I'm only 2 bags in, and I've already screwed up. And nothing makes you feel more dumb than being an adult and failing epically at building a child's toy. But any of you who are listening who have built with Technic or have done Technic builds know how difficult to take apart Technic is, let alone take it apart in a way that you don't have to go back 15 steps to do it. But I got to a point where I realized I had a sprocket left, and you don't just get extra gears in your spare parts bag.
There's no extra sprockets.
No.
Oh.
And then of course it was the very first gear that you were supposed to have put on.
Oh, naturally.
And so I spent about 30 minutes.
Because if you're gonna mess it up, it
needs to be in the middle of the chassis that you have to somehow get back apart. So anyways, I did manage to get it fixed with limited deconstruction of larger bits. So it did go back together a bit pretty easily. But yeah, I understand now the things I read about Technic and the challenge that presents it, because if you screw up, you really screw up.
Oh boy.
So, but that's really my toy news is me screwing up at building a Technic set. So
It's a child's toy.
Enjoy that.
All right. Well, after that, I mean, that's really it. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little shorter of an episode than normal. We apologize for that, but the good news is this week you're going to get double episodes because I sucked last week and didn't get an episode out before the 4th because,
Post-production John is busy.
Post-production John is busy. So I will get... you would have already heard episode 7 this week, and you get this episode now, so... Lucky you.
Enjoy
the shortened episode for the second feeding this week. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I think I wish you well. And as always,
may the Force be with you.